Well, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's a time to highlight the importance of mental health and also reducing the stigma around it. So here to help us dive into some significant issues surrounding mental health is Dr. Joy Harden Bradford. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
I feel like my mental health is already better looking at you with the bright pink and then the floral behind you. You know what I mean? Like certain things like that helps.
Absolutely. Your environment matters to your mental health.
You know what? Thank you. Because I believe that for sure. Okay. I do want to talk about your podcast because I was listening to a couple of the episodes. I think it's phenomenal, especially because, I mean, there's like 200 plus episodes from when I was 300 plus, and each one, I mean, you're talking about loss, you're talking about who's a girl's girl, you're talking about figuring out your tribe, how to find a therapist, what do you do, or how to navigate being a widow. These are so important topics that I feel like for so long nobody wanted to talk about, but you're not only inviting us to have the conversation, but you're helping us navigate, which is so important.
Absolutely. And I think you for highlighting those episodes, Kalina, I think that there are so many different elements that contribute to our mental health. So there's, of course, all the symptoms of anxiety and depression, different kinds of disorders, but there's also the other things that I don't think we talk enough about, like sleep hygiene and how do we get the most out of our sleep? How do we make the most of our support system? What happens when we are experiencing different transitions? And so those are some of the topics we aim to cover on the Therapy for Black Girls podcast.
And when we're talking about just having goals set and just planning and, properly navigating, why is that such a difficult thing for us to do? But also, what are some things that we're missing? How do we improve and get better at that?
Change is hard for us, even when there are changes we know that we want to make. So I think one of the most important things to do is to make sure that you make your steps actionable and small and realistic, because I think a lot of times we bite off more than we can chew, so to speak, and then we don't meet our goals. But breaking the goals down into smaller steps and creating an accountability system really helps us to move forward with our goals.
There was one episode that I saw. I didn't get a chance to listen to it, but it was something along the lines of, am I depressed? And I feel like people do have moments where they're down, right? But they're not sure, is this depression? Is this a phase? So can you kind of just walk us through the impacts that trauma has on our bodies, on our brain, how we can really recognize, is it time for me to get help? I am depressed. I am seeing an increase in anxiety.
Yeah, that's such a great question. And I think, there are periods in all of our lives where we feel a little more anxious, we feel a little more down or depressed, but really the hallmark factor in whether this is time for you to talk with a professional is if it is causing a disturbance in other areas of your life. So are you having more difficulty leaving the home? Are you noticing that you're sleeping more or less than you used to? Is it difficult for you to actually be productive at work? Are you not wanting to connect with your support system? All of those things that you typically enjoy doing when we are struggling with anxiety or depression, sometimes we see a change in those, and that can indicate to us that it is time for us to talk with someone else.
I feel like I could talk to you for the next hour, but we already ran out of time. So will you just let everyone know where they can find you, because you have so many different outlets that you're tapped into?
Yes, you can find all of the resources we offer at therapyforblackgirls.com, and you can follow me across social media at Hello Dr. Joy.
You're amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Joy Harden Bradford. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.